Hi. So this week, it was about the same as it usually is. We had 3 juniors, and then we had 1 senior, but it was like a new, so it was a trial guy. We did this sort of the standard trial stuff that we do. We just kind of run rapid fire through a bunch of different techniques, like stand-up stuff, ground stuff. Not usually throws, because throws are a bit potentially risky. Although this guy had done judo before, so like he knew break falls and stuff, but we still typically don't go there. But locks and other things like that. We've run through lots of different stuff. Seemed promising, although obviously it's quite hard to tell. They always seem quite enthusiastic, or like you'll seem to have had a good time, but then you don't actually know until they actually turn up again. So yeah, it seemed good. So that felt like it went pretty well. And then there was the ladies class, which is 8, I think. So that's always a pretty big class. I did like a little bit in that, but not much really. So the thing I would say I've learnt today is I'm looking at how, because I was trying to critique stuff more today. I was trying to look at their reactions to it, how they reacted to me saying stuff, rather than just praising them, actually focusing on trying to correct things that were wrong. And sometimes you have to correct them quite a few times just to tell them, because it's a bit habitual. So they kind of keep doing it without realising you have to keep telling them to tweak it. But I was, cause part of the reason that I'm sort of reluctant to do it is like this sort of silly, innate idea, illogical sort of idea that they'll just like get annoyed or like not like me, or it will like hurt their feelings or something if I just, because it appears to be like saying negative stuff all the time, focusing on the negatives. Which technically it is, but it's the best way to learn, really, I think. But actually, yeah, they didn't seem to be like that at all. They seemed to sort of like go into their own space and like think about what you said, and they'll try and implement it next time. You can see them concentrating more and focusing more on actually trying to learn and get better, which is pretty good. I was quite happy with how that turned out. So, from what I'd say I'll do next time, I'm thinking with like the trials of new students, when they come in for the first time, maybe be a bit more energised and like really enthusiastic, like happy to see them, shake their hand straight away, maybe ask them a bit about themselves, all that type of stuff. I didn't really do that much at first, and that's kind of because I'm a pretty awkward person. It's hard for me to do that sort of thing, so I kind of ended up being like that I should probably do that, but like it's like a proactive thing, and that's one of the things I really struggle with, is being proactive. I usually kind of have to like wait around until I'm asked something, or maybe if there's something I want to say, I won't really say it until the conversation starts, and then once we're in the flow of conversation, then I can say it. But I kind of have to wait for them to start it, because I'm so bad at just being proactive and making the first move in any kind of interaction. So that's what I'd say I think I should probably look at doing better next time. So outside of that, I think I've nearly finished the book, The Talent Code. It's pretty interesting. It goes in depth about how the learning process actually works inside your brain, how different neural pathways get reinforced over time through repetition and physical action and use, and so like the more you use it, the more it gets reinforced, the faster the neural pathway can go. So if you drill something again and again and again, eventually you can just do it without thinking like that, and that does make perfect sense. You can reflect or like see that in your own martial art experience with any kind of technique, especially one that you've just drilled out loads and loads, and you can just kind of just do it without thinking about it. And then on about other stuff like how the best coaches do stuff, how they operate. And I might talk a bit about that in a second. But yes, it's a very interesting book. I'm near the end of it now. With regards to my morning routine that I'm doing, I've started trying to, even though I've always had, for a long time now, I've had this problem with like sleep and like I don't feel like I get enough, but it's more of a discipline thing. It's more like getting to bed at the right time and not staying up longer than what I should be getting in order to get enough sleep to like actually be able to get up in order to do the morning training. Otherwise I'm just like too tired and I end up not doing it in the morning. But I'm actually trying to get up half an hour earlier, so like 6:30 instead of 7, so I can get an extra hour's worth of stuff in. It sounds like a bit weird because I'm already having issues with like not getting enough sleep, or like it feels like I'm not anyway. And you know, especially like the more you train, the more you really do need to sleep. But I'm sort of thinking maybe if I can stick with it really solidly and like force myself to do it, eventually I'll kind of get into the sync routine, and I'll be able to sleep better, and it'll sort of all fit in, and I'll actually be able to wake up and feel more energized and then be actually tired when I go to bed. But I have to be like really solid and not let anything get in the way. I'm trying to be mindful of that, but it's going to be quite difficult, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. One more random thing with regards to like my own training is I've seen this stuff about, I mean obviously when you do quite a lot of exercise, you know, it is a good idea to have a decent amount of carbs, but the vast majority of people definitely seem to eat too many carbs. So I'm going to try reducing the amount that I have, especially some of the like not so good ones like crisps and stuff. I'm going to just to see what happens. I'm just going to try just eating like more meat or stuff instead of like just reducing the amount of carb stuff. I obviously still will eat some, but I'll try seeing what not having as many does, whether it has any kind of effects or not. So, topic for today, I think, based on the stuff that I've listened to with the talent code, kind of made me think, what is like the best way to teach people? What's like the most optimal method to help them get better over time? So I think I've highlighted a few interesting principles, and I'll just say them out, and then maybe you can let me know if there's anything else you think really helps with that, or maybe like things that you've noticed in like maybe one of your own coaches, or if you're a coach, something you've noticed has worked really well. But if if it's like something that one of your coaches has done that's really had a big impact on your own ability. So the first thing is having a really strong passion for the subject. Naturally, some of the best coaches will all have been doing it for a long time. They'll all have had their own sort of professional, semi-professional career, and then they've carried on and flipped into teaching, and so they've learned how to do the subject to a really high level, and then they've learned how to coach well, and then that builds up over a long time, and then eventually they're like quite old, and they're real like a master of the sport, subject, and of actually teaching it. The next one is manually being able to create instances of deep practice, which is kind of like the state of flow when you're really focused, you're really sort of paying attention to all the little details, you're looking out for errors constantly, and you're like correcting them, making little adjustments along the way for, you know, keeping in that state of mind. And they're good at like manifesting that, and constantly watching their student or students and correcting any errors that they make along the way. That's it pretty much this time around. Let me know what you think, if there's anything else about like being a really top coach that you think works really well, or like just about the learning process in general. And I'll see you next time.